love, love, love little summertime outfits like these. Little matching shorts and top. However, the tops are usually too big for me. I have a really small bust, and extra small just isn't small enough. So if a company doesn't sell extra small or 00 petites, I'm kind of shit out of luck. This top, I thought maybe it'll fit me. It doesn't. And it's pretty complex, so I'm a little nervous to kind of cut it apart and try to resize it. Also, they have these really delicate, hard to button buttons in the back. And I can fit this over my head right now because it's too big, but if it actually fit me around my underbust and my actual chest, I don't understand how I would be able to get it over my shoulders, which are broad, I guess, but not incredibly broad. So this just seems like a poorly designed top, unless you have a loved one or an affectionate stranger to button it up the back, which is not really my cup of tea. I like to be able to dress myself independently. So my goal today is to remake this top, make it a bit more practical, and I just purchased a new dress form. It's close to my measurements. It now inhabits this part of my room over here near my incredibly cluttered closet, and I cannot wait to try to use it. So this is going to be the perfect project. I'm going to try to draft a pattern using my new dress form, keeping in mind that the bust is a bit larger on the dress form than in real life here. So I'm going to jump into this project. I have not used a dress form in decades at this point. I kind of don't really know what I'm doing, but I want to get back into it, and I just want to feel my way around and see if I can come up with a really cute top to match these shorts or something similar, and let's see what happens. So I spent a couple hours last night trying to piece together a shirt. It took a really long time for me to come up with anything that I thought was mildly interesting. Overall, I am incredibly underwhelmed with where I'm at so far. Who knew that making something cool was this hard? Surprise, surprise. But I've kind of decided on using a couple different eyelet scalloped edged fabrics that I have. I have one variety for the sleeves, and then I have this larger panel for the front. And for the back, I'm gonna use this beautiful sheer linen. It's almost like cheesecloth, but a lot nicer. And I have just a few pieces of tiny leftover scraps from when I made one of my most favorite projects a couple months ago. And I want to use all of this fabric. It's so beautiful. I love working with it. So I'm gonna do my best to try to work it into as many projects moving forward as possible until it's all gone. Now for the back, another reason I'm going with a plain fabric, not an ornate scallop edged or eyelet fabric, is because my hair is so long that you really don't see a lot of what's going on back there, and I don't necessarily want to waste some kind of highlighted feature that's just going to be lost under a sea of hair. I'm attempting to make this as fitted as possible, so you're going to see that I'm trying to work some darts into here. I also have darts in the front, and I have to keep in mind that her bust is larger than my bust, so when it comes to actually putting the darts in, I might have to make them even wider. I also think that my waist is a little smaller than her waist, so again, playing around with the darts is going to be crucial because I want this to be a very fitted outfit. I'm going to try to crop it here and create a waistband with a little more of that leftover fabric, the same kind I'm using for the back. And I'm also really scared to do this, but I'm just going to go for it. I am going to cut down the front and create a button opening because I'm attempting to make this so form-fitting. I think it's going to be really challenging to get it over my head and shoulders and then off again. I absolutely hate getting stuck in my own clothing. So creating the buttons down the front, it'll be more like a blouse. I won't have to worry about that. With that said, I literally don't know what I'm doing. I'm very scared I'm gonna ruin this fabric, but I'm just gonna push through, constantly trying things on, reevaluating what I'm doing, honing in and perfecting it as I go along, and I'm gonna keep you in the loop and do several fittings and show you what it looks like. So I'm just going to basically strip the mannequin now, get all of these different parts that I've cut out, start trying to piece them together, make some sense of it, just try to wrap my head around what I'm actually trying to do because it's still a little bit of a vague mystery to me, and I'll see you soon. I just finished sewing the shirt and it turned out really cute. I'm kind of impressed with myself. I mean, it's not the most ornate shirt I've ever seen, and I really like to lay it on thick when it comes to frills and femininity. But with that said, I made this up from nothing, and I haven't made up a pattern from scratch since I was in high school. I actually wore it when I made this video here when I was talking about my high school years and some of my sewing projects. And again, I was really happy with the idea that I could literally create something from nothing. So I kind of had that feeling with this shirt. Now I'm realizing just how different my body size is from this mannequin here that I recently purchased. I thought I could get away with pinning things on there and then almost translating it to my body, but I had to do some major refining based on the size gap. Initially, when I put the darts in here, I was way off because I had pinned it on the mannequin and just sewed it straight from the mannequin, put it on myself, and it didn't fit at all. So I had to undo those. And moving forward, I was really mindful about that, and I didn't make the same mistake twice. So I stopped kind of going by what I had pinned on the mannequin and just started doing things that kind of seemed right, you know, and just continually trying it on, taking it off, modifying it, trying it on, taking it off, modifying it. At a certain point, I got so annoyed about having to try it on so often that I just sat pretty much like topless sewing because I was sick of putting my shirt back on, taking it off, putting my shirt back on, taking it off to try this on in between. So I did a lot of nude sewing for this project, which was, you know, it's fine, it's summertime, and I was alone in my bedroom, so no harm done. Everything was flowing really easily. I ended up making a casing for the front here. I was so nervous when I cut that piece initially. I thought, this is the point of no return. I sliced this in half and here we go. I can't move backwards from that. So I created a simple casing and stitched it on both sides, and it worked really easily. I just kind of eyeballed what I thought would be the appropriate size, used some of this leftover fabric that I talked about previously, made a casing. I did the exact same thing for the bottom here. And when it came time to do the sleeves, I was going to initially use this. You saw that I had pinned this on the mannequin, but when I put it on, it actually kind of covered this delicate scallop feature on the front that I liked so much because there was a wide band of white, and what it did was it basically ate up an entire scallop. So I thought, okay, I need to do a very thin strap. Again, I just made the exact same casing. I used this clear ruler that I have, and then I had this lace laying around, which I've never used before. This would be a way to add width to my sleeve without detracting from the scallop feature because it's actually see-through. So you still get to see the scallop here, but you also get to have kind of the illusion of a wider strap. And I just really liked this combination. It elevated it even more and added just a little bit more of like a frill factor, if you will. So outside in our backyard right now, our currants are completely ripe, and there's actually some left over. The squirrels and the chipmunks decided to leave a few for us this year, which was very thoughtful of them. There is just enough to make a little bit of jam. So my daughter and I are going to make some currant jam. I'll show you the process. It's really simple. And then we're going to go film the reveal. So we'll see you soon.
So I'm going to be destemming all of the currants and putting them in this bowl. I finished destemming all of the currants, and I'm now going to put them into this mixing bowl. We're doing a 2-to-1 fruit and sugar ratio for this recipe. It came out to about 200 grams of currants. Now I'm going to add 100 grams of sugar. Now I'm going to put everything into the pot and start heating it up. I'm gonna add a little bit of water to this recipe.
That's a lot. I didn't mean all of that.
So now I'm just going to bring it to a boil while constantly stirring it.
I think it's pretty good. I was really excited by it, and now that I'm wearing it and just kind of evaluating it and scrutinizing over it, there's definitely lots of flaws, but overall, I mean, it's something that I just made up by myself. It came together pretty easily. I think it's feminine and light and airy and romantic, and it matches the shorts. I mean, it doesn't matchy match, samey same the shorts, but it goes with the shorts, and now I have a kind of crop top that I can wear that isn't 3 sizes too big. You know, with regards to just kind of like a summer crop top, this one's pretty good in my books. Well, here we are at the end of another video, and if you've made it to the end and if you enjoyed it, if you could like and subscribe to my channel, it means the world to me. I would definitely love to focus more on my YouTube channel, making it less of a hobby, more of a career, and your support is absolutely crucial for that. And of course, please leave comments. I don't care if they're random comments. I don't care if you just want to reach out and say hi, or if it's topical pertaining to the shirt or some part of this video. I just want to hear your voice. So please leave comments. I love connecting with you all. And until next time, see you soon.